So I'm not really on TikTok like that, but I did actually find this guy called Bat. He just like posts videos of himself playing the guitar, but he almost has like 10k followers or something, so he's definitely doing something good. So I was actually just looking through his profile, and then I actually found this video of him right here. So as soon as I heard the guitar, I felt like, yo, I need to make a beat over this one. So let's not waste any more time, get the headset on, and let's go. So now we're here in FL. As you guys can see, I've just imported the guitar right here. The first thing we obviously need to do is just fit this guitar to the right BPM. So you can see for the start right here, we have a lot of dead space before it starts playing. So we're just gonna zoom in and find this part right here. Then we can just delete this whole first part and just move this to the start. So the way I find the right BPM, especially on these live guitar loops, is just to find some sort of place where it switches between the chords. So you can hear he goes from one chord to the other right here. So I'm kind of just going to lower the BPM until I see this part being right here. So you can just lower it. As you can see, it kind of stretches down. Right, so about 94 BPM should be right. Let's turn on the metronome. So it's around the right BPM, but as you can probably hear, since it's played live, it's not going to be on perfect time. So we need to do some adjustments. Firstly, we're just going to double click and put this to stretch mode. So now you can click Shift M on your keyboard, or you can just click this button right here. If these arrows are highlighted, it means that you're working in stretch mode. So if you turn this off, so then it's actually going to stretch the audio files. So just to fix it up, we're going to cut this one. We want it to start right here. Both of these notes are pretty much good. So we're just going to cut that since I don't like this part. This big hit right here needs to change. So we're just going to make this unique. Make sure to turn on the stretch, and then we can kind of just stretch this back right here, cut right there, make unique again. Then we're just going to cut this last part and make unique again, stretch it out until we have the big one, and then we should also just stretch this big one all the way right here. Just do some slight fades right here just so we remove the clicking noises. Again, we can see the next chord starts right here. So we're this time again, just make this whole pattern unique and kind of stretch it on time right here. Then this part is pretty much the same as the first one. So we can actually just delete this. Then we're just going to copy this pattern over again. And then we have the last section, which is a bit different. So that one ends right here. I'm just going to delete this whole second part. So we need to stretch this last part on time again. Now we should be good. Now that we have the whole guitar, I'm just going to highlight everything, hit Ctrl Alt and C on my keyboard. This is just going to consolidate the whole track into one waveform. So now we have the final one. We can just delete all these different ones. But as you can probably hear, we have a lot of noise in the background and the levels are kind of all over the place. So we need to add some effects to the guitar just so we can make it sound a bit better. Firstly, I feel like this last part is way too loud. So in FL21, we can just turn it down using this knob right here. So I'm going to turn it down about 8 dB. Yeah, so now it's perfect. As for the effects, the first thing I'm going to start off with is this NS1. This is simply just a noise suppressor. It's going to suppress the noise in the background. As you can probably hear, he's playing the guitar outside. So you have a lot of wind noise and different type of noises. I'm just going to turn it about 36% and see how it sounds. Yeah, about 41 should be good. Next thing is this Child 670. It's just a compressor, so we're just going to turn it up a bit. I feel like it works pretty nicely for guitars, but you can pretty much use any compressor you like. Some reverb as well. I want a vintage feel to the guitar, so I'm adding this sketch cassette as well. Let's go in with some EQ. Just shaping out the sound how we want. Remove all those low frequencies. Last thing we're going to add is just some saturation using this J37. I'm just using this 815 preset right there. So now that we have the guitar down, I feel like adding a counter melody to this one. So for the counter melody, I feel like adding a flute. I'm just using this Bansery flute in Contact. I think it's from Ventus Ethnic Winds. Super dope flute. The only trick you need to do for this is actually just to turn this up by 12 semitones right there. And then you also want to turn up the vibrato for about 93, something in between 90 and 100. By the way, shout out to Kavi for putting me on this flute. Now for the pattern, I'm actually just going to turn on the piano right there. And to be honest, I'm just going to play around with the keyboard until I find a nice sounding flute pattern. Alright, so I really like this first part right here. I'm just going to go in third beat and kind of adjust it a little bit. So the flute goes crazy with this guitar. Let's quickly just add some effects to it. Yeah, this flute is crazy. Just a little bit of delay. Now we have both the guitar and the flute. The next thing I want to do is just go into my Imperial one-shot kit. And I want to add a texture, so I'm just going to go into the textures right here. And I feel like dragging in this cave texture. Just make sure we stretch it to time and reset the pitch. Yeah, it has a little bit of a touch to the sample. Now the last sound I added was just some pianos from Arcade. I was just using this Weird Dreams preset in Drip, and it's pretty much just a reverse piano that sounds like this. So we're just going to have that in the background when the flute is not playing. So that's pretty much it for the sample. Now let's get on to the drums. So all the drum sounds I'm using are obviously coming from my No Limit drum kit. So if you want to use the same drum sounds, you can obviously go check it out. It's linked down below. So just a basic clap pattern with an open hat at the start. Now the hi-hats should give the beat some bounce. I want to do like a cool hi-hat pattern for this one. I'm going to do a cool little roll right here, but I'm going to drag down the velocity. Yeah, there's some bounce to this one. Now let's add some perks. Yeah, that's a nice bounce right there. Just going in here and lowering the velocity a little bit. Yeah, it's nice with the snare too. Now I feel like adding the kick before the 808, but I'm actually going to boost it a little bit just so it hits extra punchy. Let's just turn up the velocity. Make the kick super punchy. Now we just need the 808. My go-to one recently is this gear one right here. It just slaps, bro. This is crazy right here. Now let's quickly just arrange this one, and that should pretty much be it for the beat. Now, to be honest, for the arrangement, I feel like we can just go straight in with the drums. Then the flute can come in for the second part. We can have kind of a cool drop. Then after the flute, I feel like we can take out the 808 and the kick. Maybe just have like a cool bounce with the reverse piano. Then we can probably go back with the flute. Then we can just copy the pattern over and have like a nice little bridge without any drums. So this is the final beat. Now, since we go straight in with the drums, let's just start playing.
Shut up, Marko.
The bounce is crazy. Then a little drop. Now the piano. It's just a little bit subtle in the background. And the drums come back in. Then we have a little bit of a bridge. You can hear the texture clearly.